Hello everyone, welcome to Coder Corner. Myself, your host Harish, and I do not sponsor Pepsi, but it's just my t-shirt. So going into the video, we are going to talk on about lists in Python. So there is a lot with lists in any language, but in Python, obviously, we have too much to talk about. Yeah, let's get into the video. Explanation of lists. What are lists? Lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Let us say like it can store different data types in a single list. Let me explain it. So first explain how the list is written. So let us say like my list one. Uh, so we write a list with the square brackets. So anything inside will be list and each element should be separated by a comma. Let me write select 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So this is a simple list containing some integers, you can see, I guess. And this is the simplest list possible. So a list can have different data types and it accepts different data types. So let me show a list too. So let us say like I want to write an integer now, and I want to write a float. Yes, you can write. I want to write a string. You can write. You can see what is happening here. I believe like you can include different data types in a single given list. So this is mostly not all the languages support such different data types in a single list, but Python is one such language which do support that. How to example, how to fetch any element in a given list. So this is the first question we can see. Let us say like I want to fetch 4. So how to fetch it? Before fetching it, we need to know something called as an index or a list. So the first element always has an index 0, then it goes on like that 1, 2 and 3. So we have 4 elements here. So it starts with 0 and ends with 3. Whatever the length, minus 1 is the last index of the given element. So there are many ways to call, but we will first do one thing. Let's print. I want the list 1 element in position 2. So let's run it. So it's 4. You can see like 0 and 1 and 2. So at exact position 2 index, we have element 4. So this is a simple calling of elements from the list by index. List append. Let me explain append. Space and right. So let us do the list append. So list 1 has element 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to add a value called 10. So let us append. Dot append. I want to append 10. And let me print again list 1 after appending. So we do have a value 10 at the end of it being added. So append is a function which will always add any given list element or any element which to the given list at the end. So it will be always indexed the last value. And one thing we wanted to know, like let us say like I don't know, there are n number of elements and I don't know how many elements in a given list. We can go for something called as length of a given list. So length of list 1. So how many should we are expecting? Since there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it should be 5. Let's run it. It is 5. So you can see 5, and then what it will be, the last element index will be length minus 1, that is 5 minus 1, 4. And one thing we can do in case if it is a last element of a list we want to fetch, let us say like I appended some value and I want to know the what is the last element appended. Let us say like we are doing some for loop and we are appending some 1000 elements and we don't know the what was the last element we appended. There is one trick we can use, that is actually something called minus indexing. Let me show you. So list name was 1. So I can give an index of minus 1. So it will come from the last. So the last value is minus 1, then minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So I think you guys are getting. Let's run it. So the value at my last of minus 1 is 10 because the 10 was the element we last appended, so it will be of last element. So what happens if I give -2? You can see it is 5 because that was the one before 10. We can go for something called list splicing. That is like you can fetch a specific zone from n to m, something like that. Let me print it and you will get to understand. So let us say like I want to get list 1, but I want of elements from certain range to certain range. Let me print 1, so that is index 1 until index 3. So you see what happens. What are the values are getting printed? 2, 3 and 4 means the index value 3 is counted, index value that is the 1, index value 2 that is 4, but the index value of 3, that whichever it is 5, will not be counted. What happens if I don't give the first element? It will default take 0. Let us see. Now you see it takes default 0, that is 2 value also is included in this splicing. Let me write this as splicing. Use this now. Now what happens if I give the initial value and doesn't give the end value of the chunk of cut we want to do? So let us say like I want to cut it from index position 2, but I don't want to give where it ends, so I don't give the last element. Then run. See, at the index 2 is counted, that is 4, then 5, then add of 10, then 4, 5, 10 is being displayed. You can do this the same thing with the negative index also. So let us say like minus 10 is -1, this is -2, this is -3 and -4. So let me add say I want it from -4, so we don't need to write -1, it will be the last element. So let us run it. I think we have already spoke about append, and that is which adds at the end. Let me say like something called, there is one more syntax called insert, which we can insert of any element at a given specific index. So let us say like I want to insert a variable 22 at exactly index number 2. I can insert it. So list 1 dot insert. So first we need to give the index where we want to insert it. So let us select 2, and I want to give a value of some double 2. Now again print list 1 and see. You can see at list index number 2 it's 22, it's no more 4, and the size of the list has also increased. This is a simple introduction of lists in Python. We will be making a second video about lists in Python. So this is a simple introduction about understanding how the lists are in Python used. And lists, as I said before, it's a very big topic. We can have other subsections here afterwards. So if for any queries, please do comment in the section below. If you want to have any specific topic discussed or any specific code snippets you guys want to look in, you can comment in the below section, so I can help you out. So that's all for this video. Thank you.